Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
Hey, what's up guys? TeamDemise Andy here, and today we're going to be going over what I am currently playing in my Shaddoll trains and what you all think I should play, because there are like no deck profiles for this deck, like dating back to at least 8 months. So it's like, you know, this deck is definitely dead and you're not going to see it anywhere. But you know how I feel about trains, and it was literally my very first video on the channel was the Shaddoll train replay. And, you know, we've still got them up till today, and the deck has definitely changed a little bit, but not too much. So we're going to jump into what I'm playing right now. Now, I know there are a few cards that are definitely worth playing in every deck, but I can't afford them. So, like that new trap card that is legit busted, it's like $60 a piece, maybe more. I can't afford that right now because I don't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! 24/7. So I'm not going to go out and spend, you know, $180 on 3 cards. That's just not going to happen. But, oh yeah, especially on a rogue deck though. Like if I was playing like top tier meta and I was trying to get a top and, you know, go to Worlds and make this an actual thing again, yeah, I might do it then, but I've literally gotten to play in real life twice in the past 2 months, and both times was with Alex when he came over to my house, and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't as fun as it used to be, because like the game, like, you know, the whole game, the game changes all the time. Yeah, well, I love link format, don't get me wrong, it's just the game has been changing literally month by month. There's something completely new in the meta. But that's a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing because, yeah, the decks are switching up, but it's a bad thing because I don't have time to keep up with everything. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into this. You know, as you can already see, this is the deck right here, but there are a few things that I'm going to discuss that I want to change in the deck, and there are a few things that have to be changed in the deck. This deck needs at least 1 to 2 more level 10s that are viable. Snowplow, Hustle Rustle, and the Jet card are not good cards. They are not going to ever help this deck be good. They are not going to do anything with this deck. The new Spider card is terrible. You know, you can't really do anything with them. But anyway, we got our standard 9 here, which is the 3 Express Knight, the 3 Freight Train, and the 3 Rail card. You have to play all of these cards at 3 or the deck does not work. As for Exodius, I have it at 3 because I was testing it. Exodius at 3 has won me a game, but Exodius at 3 has also bricked my hand once. So it's at a 1-1 right now. I've been playing it at 2 for as long as I can remember, and I liked it at 2 a lot more. But I'm still just testing it. So you can play this card at 2 or 3 if you want. Like I said, it's still being tested. But as for my Shaddoll package, I feel really strongly about this Shaddoll package. It's 2 Beast, 1 Dragon, 2 Squamata, 2 Hedgehog, 1 Falco. If I cut anything, it'd be 1 Squamata. I just keep the 1 Squamata in there, the extra one, because like it's like, you know, you can send any Shaddoll card you want, so you can kind of get what you need off. And it's also a monster pop if I have to normal summon it. So it's a decent card. It's just not as good as, I don't even want to say not as good as Beast, because Beast is a brick too. Beast is like, I don't know, Hedgehog is the best one, definitely, and Falco is decent in certain situations, but like I said, very situational. Very situational. But moving on from that, we have 3 Ghost Ogre. These aren't Ashes. I don't play Ash in this deck anymore, because I've come to terms I'm not buying Ashes for Shaddoll trains. I've come to terms with that, and I like to play these decks about as wholeheartedly as I would play an actual deck in real life. And I do have 3 Ogre. I have this deck basically built all except for, I know I've got to get 1 more Exodius. I might have to get 1 more Mrs. Radiant, because I think I gave one of mine away to a buddy. But other than that, I have this deck built. Now, the next thing we have here is 3 Shaddoll Fusion. I don't know if people ever played El Shaddoll Fusion in this deck, but I find it to be terrible. I don't like El Shaddoll Fusion at all. Shaddoll Fusion is a brick for me sometimes anyway, but you have to play it at 3 because you have to see it. And the biggest problem with this deck right now is either you're playing trains or you're playing Shaddolls. I hardly ever, like, I just finished recording a Mech Knight game where I've never played against Mech Knights before. Deck was insane. It's just 81 kind of just kept outing it. And like, I was just like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. This deck is crazy. But it was the first time I actually got to like sync up with the new version of this deck. Don't get me wrong, I've played this deck for 2 years now almost. So yeah, the deck does, you know, you get your moments. But like this new deck right here with this format's first time I ever got to play trains and Shaddolls. And I guess Kaijus, for that matter of fact, all together in synergy. But yeah, it's just one of those things, and that's why the deck is so inconsistent. But then we have 3 terraforming for our revolving switchyard, which is a decent filled spell. But if it could link up with the Shaddolls, it would be better. It just can't do that though. And then we have 2 Scapegoat, because Scapegoat's absolutely busted with Mrs. Radiant right here. And like, my normal play is I'll set Scapegoat and Railcar, they'll attack Railcar, destroy it, I'll pull the piece I need to hand, and then I'll go double Mrs. Radiant, 81. 81 will get a double attack boost, and he's like untouchable. So then I'll just attack my opponent, and typically it does end up in game. But sometimes it's just like right there where I need it to be, where I can just go into Gustav Cannon and end the game. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those cool little quick combos. But now, to the only trap card I play in the deck, which is the most broken card in this deck, it's Skill Drain. If I open Skill Drain 8 times out of 10, I'm gonna win the game, as long as my opponent doesn't open completely busted. Like, if my opponent can't out Skill Drain within the first 2 turns, I win the duel. Like, there's just no stopping it. Moving on though to the part of the deck that I want to change, because I hate maining Kaijus. I hate maining Kaijus. But this is my reason behind my choices for Kaijus, and I know some people are probably going to think I'm stupid, but I run these for a specific reason, and you're not going to tell me anything different. I mean, people are probably like, oh, Gamma Seal's the best. Okay, you can run Gamma Seal, but I run this for a specific reason. Obviously, I have the Kaiju Slumber for board clear, but it's also just a decent card to have, you know. You know, what can you do? I want to side deck these, though, but I can't find anything that's good enough to put into the deck. But the reason I do run this is because this right here. We got the 2 10s. So, basically, what I can do is Slumber, give my opponent, like, a Sticky String or Radiant, and then I can get a level 10 free. So even if I don't have Freight Train on board or Exodius in hand, I can just normal summon Express Knight and go along with my play normally. But the reason I run Sticky String and Raiden is because they're types. Okay, so it's an Earth and a Dark. Okay, their attributes are Earth and Dark, which line up with Shekaniga and Winda. So I can use these as fodder if I need to get to my plays with Fusion. Because more and more here lately, it's like come to the point where I've got Fusion in hand and my opponent just went and they don't even have, you know, especially with the more rogue decks, they don't even have a card from the extra deck on board, and I'm just like, god damn, your deck's bad. But anyway, yeah, that's why I'm running these 2 specifically, and you're not going to change my mind. I like this 4-way lineup right here, because the free 10s, and then, yeah, plus he's a big beater. He's a big beater. Moving on to the extra deck, though, we have 3 Shekaniga, 1 Winda. This is a good combo, because I don't find myself going into Winda unless I'm, like, confident my opponent cannot out it. Because, like, if they get over Winda, typically, that's my only play. But with Shekaniga, she goes in defense, you know, that's a 3,000. You gotta get over that first. And then you also, I get my Fusion back, and you have to get over whatever else I get. But with Winda, it's just like 2,200 attack. Most decks can get over that with 1 card. But yeah, that's just why I play the ratio there, and I actually might cut Shekinaga to 2 to play something else in the main, or in the extra deck. I'm not positive yet though. But moving on, we have Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer. This card actually comes up a lot more than people would think. I actually started playing it back when Paleo was a huge thing, because like, not only can my opponent not activate cards in response to this effect, it catches people off guard, because you would think, oh, you can't get 3 level 10s on board, but with Switchyard, it's 100% viable. Normal Summon Express Knight, Special Freight, Switchyard effect, Rail Car, he becomes level 10, and then I have 3 level 10s to out your board. But, you know, cards like Strike and everything kind of stop this if they actually know what's going on. But yeah, it's just one of those things, like, this card can be really good or it can be really bad. Plus it's a 5,000 fucking beater, which is insane in its own right. Now, moving on to a card that I don't go into that often, but I have went into before. We've got Sky Palace Gangardia, I think. Basically what he does is I can detach 1 to destroy a card or a card my opponent controls, and they take 1,000 damage. Now, what I like to do with this card is use Freight Train in the thing, so when I detach, I get to pop 2, you take 1,000 damage. So yeah, the only bad part is he can't attack the turn I use the effect, which is really garbage, but if I use Switchyard that turn, it really doesn't matter either way. Now, moving on to my favorite part of the deck, it's the Spider Package, which, if you don't know what this Spider Package does, you definitely need to look it up. Because I will just let my opponent damage me sometimes, that way I can get it down low enough to where I can just go into Tarantula, wipe their entire board, go into 7 Sins, and just attack them for 4,000. Like, it's insane to do. Next, though, we have our staple, Triple 81. Some people play 2 Gustav Cannon, or Gustav Max. I only play 1 because I don't go into it as often as you would think. But 81 is definitely the MVP of this deck. He's so broken, but like I said, there's just not enough level 10 fodder to get to him. So it's, you know. Excuse me, guys. Then double Mrs. Radiant. Mrs. Radiant is just good in the deck. It helps me extend 81 Shekinaga with a Shaddoll in hand and Freight Train attached to 81 with the Mrs. Radiant up top is typically my want to go to in play. It doesn't happen very often, like I said, because the deck just isn't as consistent as it should be. But maybe we'll get some support in the future. But I want to know what you guys think. What should I replace this stuff with? Because I would really like to keep this in the side deck, even though when testing, it's actually helped out a lot. Even though this is kind of like a going first deck, this has really like been super helpful in the fight against evil. But it's just one of those things, guys. I really want to help get this deck back to where it should be. But it's just one of those things, it's like so hard to do because there's nothing to go on and I don't have time to keep up with everything. Nor do I have the money to just drop, you know, $180 on 3 cards that probably are going to get banned in 2 months anyway. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Anyway, guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.